Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we have a review of the Pagani Design PD1773 Chronograph. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Pagani Design PD1767, and Grogo is wearing my Corjo 2010. Grogo said that when Princess Leia was pregnant with Ben Solo, she was having difficulties, so she was looking for a good obstetrician. Mon Mothma recommended her doctor, Don Jacoby. So Princess Leia sent R2 with a message that said, "Help me, Obi, Don Jacoby. You're my only hope." All right, let's take a look at the watch. It comes in this typical Pagani Design box with the Pagani Design cleaning cloth. So here it is. Isn't that a nice looking watch? I really like it. I think they really have a winner on their hands here. I have reviewed countless VK63 Mecha Quartz powered Pagani Design watches that you might be saying, oh no, not another one. But I think you're going to find this PD1773 to be refreshingly different. Instead of a big, bold tachymeter bezeled full-size watch, this one is a bit more subtle and elegant. Pagani Design is known for their homage watches, and when I first unboxed this, I was thinking it might look like an IWC, but I was mistaken. I've been searching the web for 3 registered chronographs with a curvy font sandwich style, and I haven't come up with anything, so maybe this is not an homage. If anyone knows, please leave a comment. If you don't like this teal blue, there's also a salmon color that they call rose. If you don't like either of those, then there is a boring black color, which I really think is a big letdown considering how well the other 2 colors turned out. But to each his own. The watch is a bit on the smaller side. It's 35.7 millimeters at the bezel and 38 millimeters though if you measure at the case. It's 46.8 millimeters lug to lug. It's 13 millimeters thick, has a 20 millimeter lug width, and weighs 127 grams on the supplied metal bracelet with 3 links removed. Unlike most Pagani Design chronographs, this one does not have a tachymeter bezel. It's just a smooth bezel. And then we have the dial. I think the dial is stunning. That just looks great. Has a really nice sunburst effect, and it also has a sunburst in the subdials. And I don't know if the camera is capturing it properly, but that teal color is just awesome. Then we have the Pagani Design name and logo printed on top. And then it says Japan movement on the bottom because this is a VK63. And then we have a outer chapter ring with the minute markers and the sub-second markers. And then we have the hands. They're thin hands and they're fully loomed. And then we have a loom chronograph hand. And then we have a date at the 4:30. This is my only real complaint about this watch. That date really sticks out. I really wish they would have color matched it. And yeah, I understand that would have added quite a bit of expense to the watch. But if they're not going to color and match it, they would have been better off just leaving it out and just ghost dating it. But I mean, I like having a date for the functionality, but I just think it really hurts the looks of this watch. Then we have the indices, and if you can't, I don't know if you can tell by here, but the indices, this is a sandwich style. So those are cutouts. And I think that looks really nice. As you can see too, the font is stylized. It's curvy. And so it looks a little bit more old-fashioned, or retro, I should say. So that looks nice. And as you can see, the 9, 3, and 6 are cut out, which is kind of a nice touch too. And then we have the 3 subdials. This is a VK63, so you're going to have the same subdial pattern on all VK63 watches. On the right subdial, we have a 24-hour indicator. I don't think it's much use. It would have been nice if they could have used it for something else. On the bottom, we have the running second hand. That's one nice thing about a VK63. It has a small running second hand, so it can save the big second hand for the chronograph. And then on the left, we have the minute counter, and it will count 60 minutes. In case this is your first review of a VK63, this is a Mecha Quartz movement. So you go ahead and press the top pusher, and then the second hand starts ticking with a smooth sweep of 5 ticks a second. And then you just go ahead and push it again to stop it. And then when you reset it, you get an instant snapback instead of a fast rewind. Then we have a sign crown. This crown is a screw down, and you do get 100 meters of water resistance, which is plenty for a chronograph. That's not a dive style. And the thread action's good. When you go to screw it back down, it catches right away. You don't feel a lot of thread resistance. I like that. Then the pushers are not screw down, which is fine, because once again, this is 100 meters, and this is not really a water-based watch anyway. And then we have the dome sapphire crystal, and I really like the crystal. I think they did a good job with it. I don't know if there's AR coating or not, but you can see through it just fine. And it is sapphire. I tested it. And then we have the case. The case is really nice too. It's got brushed sides and tops, but it's got this polished chamfered edge. And it's a little bit thicker than a normal case for these VK63s, which keeps the case back nice and short. So it wears nice and flat. I like that. It's a good case. Then the case back, believe it or not, it's a coin edge screw down. I've never seen a coin edge screw down on Pagani Design before. They usually have slots for a wrench, so I'm surprised they did that. I have the tools to open this, but not everybody does, and it's kind of going to be irritating to some people to have to buy a tool to open this if they want to change the battery. Of course, this is a VK63 quartz, so the only time you're ever going to need to open this is to change the battery. But if you do want to change it, you need a 29.5 millimeter case opener. Then it says Pagani Design up top, has the PD1773, has the logo, and then it says 10 bars, so you get the 100 meters. And it's got a little fish there to indicate that this means water resistance. As I said before, this has a VK63 Mecha Quartz movement. This movement's designed by Seiko, and it's the go-to movement for quartz chronographs in this price range. And like I said, the nicest thing about it, it has the big second chronograph hand and a smooth sweep. And normally, most of these chronographs have tachymeters, so you can actually use it. This one does not, though. Of course, you'll never use the tachymeter. And if you ever did need a tachymeter, you'd probably use your phone anyway. The bracelet has solid end links, and it's a fully articulating bracelet. See, the center links aren't fixed with the side links. And this is a 5-link bracelet. Let me show you. Here's an extra link I took out, and see the polished portion of the outer links are individual, and they spin on their own. But the polished of the center links is not. That's all. The center links are all one piece, but the side links are 2 pieces. And this has push pin adjusters, not screw pins. I'm perfectly happy with push pins. I think they're easier. And it's a really nice looking bracelet. The mixture of brushed and polished looks really good. And I like the fact that the entire center link's not polished. I think that works. Then we have the clasp. The clasp has a milled lower, pressed upper. I'm not a fan of the pressed upper. I mean, yeah, it works fine, but it just doesn't look right on this watch. I think this watch is a little bit more elegant and needed a little bit more elegant looking clasp. This is a really tool looking clasp. I mean, it's not a gripe and groan. I think if I was to keep this watch, I might change the clasp on it. And if you do want to change the clasp, you'll need an 18 millimeter. Here's the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. I think it looks nice. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than the typical Pagani Design chronograph, but it works. It doesn't look small. And I had to remove 3 links, so you should be able to wear this if you have a big wrist, because these are fairly big links. And yeah, I think this has really good wrist presence in it. It doesn't bother me that it's a little small. I wish I had the salmon dial too, just to show you, because that looks really nice also. Here we are in the loom room. One nice thing about a sandwich dial is you can put a big coat of loom on the underdial. But this is a Pagani Design, and loom is never a big priority with them. As we speed up the time, we see that the sandwich dial has about as much loom as Wonder Bread and just can't cut the mustard. The hands are a little bit better, but are still fading fairly fast. At least the hands are better than the indices, when so many Pagani Designs do the opposite. What do I like about this watch? Stunning sandwich dial. It just looks great. I like this fully articulating 5-link bracelet. And I really like this case in sapphire crystal. What are my gripes and groans? This non-color match date wheel really clashes with the dial. Yes, I understand color matching would have cost a lot more, but if they weren't going to color match it, they probably should have just left it out. I don't like the fact that it has a coin edge case back. That just makes it more difficult to open if you don't have the right tools. And this really isn't a gripe and groan because it works fine. I just wish they would have had a different clasp. I think it would have looked nicer. Do I recommend this watch? Yes, this is one of the best looking chronographs I have ever reviewed. Plus, it is solidly built with a VK63 movement, so it has both style and substance. Do yourself a favor and buy this watch, but don't buy the black one unless you just love black. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Pagani Design PD1773 chronograph with sandwich dial, and I'll be back with another unboxing. I have 2 more watches from AliExpress just came in. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.